So hello and good evening, this is Ruth Pozuelo from Curbal.com, and today is time again for our Magic Mondays. This is our series where we go through functions, Power Query functions, or Power Query tricks, or how to do specific things in Power Query. And what we are going to do today is something that Emin requested it, and it is how to calculate working hours without holidays and weekends and for specific countries. So, without any more delay, let's begin. Okay, so last Friday I showed you how to calculate the equivalent in Excel for network days. Network days function, what it does is it calculates the number of days between two dates. And there is no equivalent function in DAX, so I just show you how to do it. You know, it's a little bit of a workaround, but it works very well. And I've got a comment from Emin that he said if I had worked with a function that calculates working hours between two date times, and that means working hour by location, holidays, breaks, etc., country. So that is exactly what we're going to do today. Thank you for the tip, Emin. And let's move into Power BI to see how we will solve that problem. So here we are in Power BI, more accurate in the query editor in Power Query. And I've already have a few things set up, so you don't have to watch me do that. I have imported a set of dates. It is a start date and an end date. I have holidays table that was imported. I have a function. I'm going to talk about this function in a second. And then I have two parameters. And this is working hours start, working hours end. So that means when does my working hour interval is. And in this case, it's from 9 to 5. Okay. So what is this function? Let's go back to Emin for a second. So actually, while Emin was trying to solve this issue, he found somebody that already did it. So Bill created a function that shows how to calculate exactly that, you know, the difference between working hours where there is no Saturdays, Sundays, holidays. And what I'm actually going to show you is how to use this function in Power BI, okay? So let's go to Power BI and I'll show you how to work with this. So to be able to actually use Bill's function, there are a few things that we need to fix. We need to have the working hour start date, the working hour end date. We need to have the start date, the end date, and then the list of holidays. And this is basically what we're going to do. We're going to work with his function. And to do that, we need to prepare our tables a little bit. I'm going to show you how. So let's just start with dates. The table dates has a start and an end date, and these two, they have to be formatted as date type, as they are already, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to call in the function in this table. And for that, we need to have the working hour start and working end and the hour, and we need them as a decimal. Here they are as dates, as hours, and I think that is the correct way because the user does not know what a decimal equivalent is. So it is user friendly to actually have the user input 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock or to 5 o'clock. But the function requires decimals. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to go in here and we are going to create those decimal numbers. So we're going to call that working hour starts, for example. And we're going to use the function number from. And here we are going to call in our parameter. And we're going to do the same with the end. Number from, this converts the parameter that is formatted as date as an integer, and now you're going to see it. Okay, and we're not going to change that. We still want the result of this query to do this, to give us this table. So this is going to stay as is. So you cannot see it right now, you will see it in a second, but here we have our converted dates. Another thing that we need to do, these list of holidays need to be as a list of numbers. So this is what we are going to do. So we're going to get our holidays list and we're going to convert it into a list of numbers. And for that, we are going actually to use Bill's function as he used it. So what this does is it takes the holidays column and converts it into number, and then it takes everything and creates a list. So nothing strange there. And here we want that list as a result, as an output. So we change it like that. Oh, these we need to change as a date. I think that will go. Yes. So now we have our list of numbers, which is great. So we are actually ready to call in our function. So invoke custom function. We only have one, so that's the one that shows up. As start, we just don't want to put anything. We will put it manually in a second. Here we put start, this is, and this our end date, and the list of holidays we will put it manually, because if we write it here, it will take it as a text. You can do it and correct it afterwards, but well, let's do it. Doesn't matter. So here we should have working hours starts. This is the variable that we just created, not the parameter, the value variable. Okay, I will show you in a second. And here we call the holidays list, and this is going to give us an error, but don't worry, it's just that, as you can see, it takes the arguments as text, and we don't want that. We want them to keep them as they are. Something went wrong, and that is what went wrong. Let's do it like that, and let's see. Got an error. I spelling this wrong to begin with. So this one should be like that, and that one should be like that. I don't see what's wrong. Let's do it like this instead. I'm not going to cut this. I think it's just good if you see how it works when you do wrong, you know? Oh, that's the one. There you go. And we're going to do another thing so we can actually see those two. Otherwise, it just disappear. Put those there. And we put this in there. And look what happens. We don't miss the steps, and we can actually see that we did this right. So this is a better way. Okay, let's do it again, because now it should work. We go get the function. Here we write nothing, or we do like before, start, and I think I wrote, and this one it should have the start date, and this should have the end date, and this should have our list of holidays, and they will be formatted as text, so it gives us an error, so we need to go in there. I'm sure you can modify the formula, the function, but for now this will do. Okay, so now we have it. So this is the difference between the number of hours in between. Well, let me correct myself. This is not the number of hours, it's the number of days. So we need to multiply that by 24 hours. And this is working hours. Okay. So now we have a function that actually takes into account Sundays, Saturdays, weekends, and then it takes into account holidays. Another question was also, is it possible to take into account countries? And I think the easiest way that comes up to my mind is, for example, here on holidays, if you would go up and add a custom column. The data that you actually put in, it says which country those holidays are from. So here we say country, and that means that the holidays that we have imported are for Turkey. And now we go in here, manage parameters, and we create a country parameter. And this will be a list of values because we will have different countries. Right now just we have one, but we know we're going to have Turkey and Spain. And the current value is Turkey, say that. Okay? So what we need to do now is filter these by the country that the user chooses, because when they open the file, they will have to select which country they want. So say equals, and here we choose parameter and country. So if I change here to Spain, you see that the list gets empty because there were no dates for Spain. But if I change by to Turkey, we will get the holidays for Turkey. So anything that you do in here will be dependent on the country. So I think that is an easy way to actually manage the country and the difference between holidays between countries. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am actually going to post a link to Bill's function, so you will be able to download it from there. And if you can, just give him a thank you, because I'm sure it took quite a few hours to write down that function. But now that you have it, it will be very easy to use, right? Okay. So this is, again, all for today. If you liked the video, just let me know as usual by liking it or by sharing it with others that you think might need this function also. If you have comments, questions, suggestions about the video, let me know on the comment box or any of the social channels that I list below. And make sure you subscribe. I publish Power BI videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Where on Monday I go through Power Query functions and clean up techniques. On Wednesday is a little bit of everything, and on Friday I go through DAX functions, a very popular series. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you click the bell to receive notifications, because YouTube stopped doing that. So if you want to know when I publish a new video, you need to click that bell, okay? So that's all for today. Have a great evening. Bye.